My parents' long-lost daughter. The one who was kidnapped 17 years ago finally came home. Mom held her whispering, "My precious, precious girl." But her eyes, they were fixed on me with a mask of innocence. She asked, now that I'm back, shouldn't my sister be going back to her own home? She thought I was the thief. The charity case. Adopted to steal the lavish life that was rightfully hers. She didn't see was the dead silence that fell over the room. The moment those words left her lips. She didn't realize that in this house I wasn't the guest. I was the queen, and she had just tried to kick me off my throne. She thought this was her story of a triumphant return. A princess reclaiming her castle. She had no idea she just walked into my story. And I don't take kindly to intruders. Isn't a fairy tale. It's a war for everything. And I've never lost. Jenna was my parents' biological daughter, kidnapped and sold to some family in a poor, rural town when she was little. He was only found today. I got home from baseball practice, and the second I walked through the door, I could hear muffled crying inside. My mom was clutching a girl sobbing uncontrollably. My dad, a tough-as-nails guy who stands 6'2", was standing beside them with red-rimmed eyes. They were gone from dawn till dusk, barely saw their own child, and had no idea the nanny was part of a child trafficking ring. The girl was 4 when she was sold. They'd spent years searching with no luck. "Who's this?" A thin voice pulled me out of my thoughts. I looked up and saw her staring at me. I frowned instinctively. Her gaze made my skin crawl. She flinched dramatically, burrowing deeper into my mom's arms. "Don't be scared," Mom cooed, patting her back. "This is your older sister." Then to me, "Chloe, this is your little sister, Jenna." "But I don't remember having a sister," she said, hesitating for a second before shooting a timid glance my way. Mom started, "Chloe is." I cut in with a smile. "I was adopted." "Oh, I see." Her voice faded. She mumbled to herself. "So Mom and Dad already had another kid." Mom hugged her tighter, her heart clearly breaking. "Jenna, having a sister is a good thing. It just means one more person in this house to love you." Jenna's face fell, tears welling up. I thought Mom and Dad would only love me. Why do you have to share my love with a sister?" "Okay." Now I was sure that crawling feeling wasn't my imagination. It was hostile. I could understand it. I guess she'd been through hell and finally came home, only to find her parents had been raising another kid in luxury. It had to sting. I was about to try and explain. "Jenna. Actually, I'm Jenna," cut me off by bursting into loud sobs. "Maybe I shouldn't have come back. Am I just interrupting your happy family of 3? Dad panicked. "Jenna. What are you talking about? Your mother and I have been waiting for this day for years. We're overjoyed to have you home. What parent wants their child to suffer out there?" Jenna looked at Dad, her eyes wide and helpless. "Really?" Of course, that seemed to be the answer she wanted. Her tears stopped and a smile broke through. She threw her arms around Dad, resting her head on his shoulder like a dependent child. "Thank you, Daddy." My parents let out a collective sigh of relief. A second later, she dropped the bomb. "So since I'm back, shouldn't my sister be going home now?" The air went still. The only sound was the soft, shallow breathing of people trying not to breathe. She looked at Mom, her eyes full of expectation. Mom flinched and looked away. Dad pretended to be fascinated by his cup of tea. She finally sensed something was wrong. Her expression turned to one of panic. "Dad, did I say something wrong?" But I saw it. A flash of pure resentment in her eyes. It made me pause. Dad cleared his throat. "Having 2 daughters, think of the bragging rights. It looks good on me. Let's just keep things as they are." Mom chimed in. "Yes. You've just come back. If there's anything you don't understand, you can always ask Chloe for help." Jenna clearly hadn't expected to be shot down so firmly. Her eyes started to me. I gave her a wide, saccharine smile. "Sure thing." Then I grabbed my baseball bat and walked out the door. Behind me, I heard Mom's panicked voice. "Chloe, Chloe." I walked right next door, used my fingerprint to unlock the door and went straight in. This is where my aunt and uncle lived. In reality, They're my biological parents. That's right. I was adopted by my mom's sister. So when Jenna shot me that hostile look, I understood it. But I sure as hell wasn't going to feel like I owed her a damn thing. The truth is, it was my aunt who, after losing her daughter, had this epic romance, letting their only daughter take the mother's name. Even Jenna thought I was living her privileged life, enjoying the love and affection that should have been hers. The truth is, I was always meant to be adored. Frankly, if I'd been raised by my biological parents, I'd be 1,000 times happier. I mean, I have the coolest, most in-love parents ever. A ruthless CEO for an older brother, a brilliant hospital director for a second brother, and a wild, famous movie director for a third. My backup is stacked and it's powerful. Thinking back to the resentment in Jenna's eyes, I let out a soft. The coming days were not going to be peaceful. My new little cousin was a real piece of work. A wolf in sheep's clothing. From my earliest memories, my real parents and brothers never once neglected me. When my aunt and uncle, the ones raising me, were busy with work, they took care of me and they did a fantastic job. They told me over and over that even though I was adopted, I was always welcome back home. They even had a room just for me, complete with my own study and a piano room. So walking in now felt perfectly natural. I flopped onto the couch, grabbing the bowl of fruit the housekeeper had cut up for me, and started munching away. I heard frantic footsteps outside. My mom and dad, my adoptive parents, rushed in. Chloe, what's wrong? Mom saw me and let out a huge sigh of relief, cupping my face in her hands. My poor baby. You must feel so hurt. Jenna's just sensitive from being back. Don't be mad at her, I shot back. So I'm just supposed to take her crap? Dad looked shocked. What are you saying? We've watched you grow from a tiny thing into a young woman. You're our daughter. Who dares to disrespect you? Mom added, her voice pained. Chloe saying that is like twisting a knife in my heart. Fine, I said. But I'm not going back there to listen to her toxic nonsense. I'm staying here for a few days. In perfect unison, they both said no. You're coming back with us. I won't be able to rest easy. One on my left, one on my right. They half dragged, half escorted me back next door. They were terrified I'd stay with my real parents and never come back. Seemed they weren't completely under Jenna's spell yet. I caught the faint movement of a figure behind the curtains. I smiled. Jenna, this round goes to me. Honestly, I didn't have anything against Jenna at first. She was my parents' daughter. My cousin. I might be spoiled, but I'm fiercely protective of my own. When I first saw her, I felt a pang of pity. But her get out of my house act killed that pity instantly. If she didn't want to acknowledge me as her sister, I wasn't about to go chasing after her friendship back at the house. And I stopped provoking me to my face. But her little games continued behind my back. She'd make a big show of being affectionate with Mom, right in front of me, and she'd use her meek little act to get friendly with the household stuff. She was trying so hard to project this image of a harmless, gentle soul, highlight how different she was from me. I just watched cold and detached. I didn't make a move. Only people starved for affection make such a big deal out of it. When you've grown up drowning in love like I have, you don't even notice the small stuff you don't need to beg for it. You know you're loved unconditionally. So all her petty little maneuvers, I couldn't be bothered. Her tactics were amateur at best. Still, having someone constantly buzzing around you like an annoying fly is grating. I called my oldest brother. The message was simple: wire me money. I need retail therapy. His call came through instantly. I could hear the murmur of a meeting in the background. Chloe, what's wrong? Did someone upset you? I put on my best little sister pout. Yeah, Jenna's so annoying. She's always picking fights. He sued me. Don't worry. Your big brother has your back. As soon as I'm back from this business trip, we're officially transferring your records back to our family. I reassured him, don't worry, bro. You think I'd let myself get bullied? After hanging up, a notification popped up on my phone. A $3 million deposit. The memo, pocket money. A huge grin spread across my face. I changed my clothes, ready to hit them all. As I came downstairs, I heard cheerful chatter from the living room. I saw Jenna nestled up to Mom, both of them all smiles. When she noticed me, she looked up and shot me a triumphant, challenging glare. I just smirked. Did she really think that would make me jealous? As I walked past the sofa, Mom saw I was heading out and immediately pulled out her phone. Chloe, don't hold back when you're shopping. Mom's sending you some money. I just grunted. And had the satisfaction of watching Jenna's face darken. In her mind, all this money was hers. Shouldn't be wasted on an outsider like me. It was kind of amusing. Like having a little wind-up toy that changes expressions on command. Suddenly, she spoke up. Can I go shopping, Mom? I've never been to a mall. Mom hesitated for a second looking at me. Jenna immediately put on her kicked puppy face. I just want to see what it's like. I won't buy anything expensive. Mom's heart melted. Of course you can go. Chloe, why don't you take Jenna with you? I raised an eyebrow. I have my own plans. Mom sighed. Then I'll take her. Jenna, go get ready. I watched as Jenna practically skipped upstairs. 10 minutes later, she was back wearing a simple dress that looked a little worn. It was a calculated move to make herself look even more like the victim. Headed out to the driveway. I had my own car, a gift from my brothers for my 18th birthday. Mom had her own, too. Jenna stood there, expecting to sit next to Mom and her car. I gave them a cool glance, then walked over to a Maserati, started it up and pulled out. As I drove past them, I saw the look of pure envy and regret on Jenna's face. I slowly curved my lips into a smile. The mall was packed, but I had my VIP parking spot. I walked into Louis Vuitton like I owned the place. The staff already knew me by name. Miss Chloe, they greeted. I picked out a few bags without even looking at the price tags. Then my phone buzzed. It was Jenna. Mom wants to know if you're hungry. We're at the food court. I stared at the message and laughed. She was trying to play the good sister now? Too bad I wasn't buying it. I replied, busy, and blocked her number. I spent the next 3 hours shopping, dropping more than most people make in a year. It felt good. Not because of the stuff, but because I knew it would drive Jenna crazy. When I finally got home, the house was quiet. I walked into the living room and saw Jenna sitting on the couch, looking like she'd been crying. Mom and Dad were nowhere to be seen. What happened? I asked, genuinely curious. Jenna looked up, her eyes red. Mom and Dad got a call from your real parents. They want to have a family dinner. With you. She swallowed hard. They said they're your real family now. I almost laughed out loud. So Jenna thought my real parents were trying to steal me away? She had no idea. I sat down across from her. And you think I'm going to leave? Jenna's eyes widened. But they're your real parents. They must miss you so much. I leaned back, crossing my legs. They do miss me. That's why they're coming here tomorrow. For dinner. With everyone. Jenna froze. Everyone? Including your brothers? All 3 of them. I watched her face pale. She'd done her research. She knew who my brothers were. She knew what kind of power they had. Why? She whispered. Why are they all coming? Because they heard about you, I said. They want to meet their new little cousin. Jenna looked like she was going to be sick. The next day arrived too fast. My real parents arrived first, followed closely by my brothers. The house was suddenly filled with powerful people. My oldest brother, the CEO, walked in like he owned the place. My second brother, the hospital director, had this calm, dangerous energy. And my third brother, the movie director, was loud and charming. Jenna stood in the corner, looking like a deer in headlights. My mom, my real mom, walked right past Jenna and hugged me. My baby girl, she said. How are you holding up? I'm fine, I said. Just dealing with some family drama. My real dad laughed. Drama? We can handle drama. He turned to my adoptive parents. Thank you for raising our daughter. We know it wasn't easy. My adoptive mom looked like she might cry. We love her like she's our own. I know, my real mom said. That's why we trust you. Then everyone turned to Jenna. She was shaking now. This is Jenna, my adoptive mom said. Our biological daughter. My oldest brother walked over to her. So you're the one who's been causing trouble. Jenna's eyes went wide. I haven't. Don't lie to me, he said, his voice cold. I know everything. I know what you've been saying about Chloe. I know what you've been trying to do. Jenna looked at my adoptive parents for help. But they just looked away. They knew. They'd known all along. My second brother stepped forward. Let me make something clear. Chloe is our sister. She's been our sister since the day she was born. Nothing will ever change that. If you think you can push her out, you're wrong. My third brother grinned. And if you think you can mess with her, you're really wrong. We've been protecting her since she was a baby. We're not stopping now. Jenna's knees gave out. She sank to the floor, sobbing. I just wanted them to love me. My adoptive mom rushed over to her. Jenna, we do love you. But you can't treat Chloe like this. She's your sister. Jenna looked up, her face wet with tears. But she's not my sister. She's your daughter. My adoptive dad sighed. Jenna, Chloe is our daughter. And you're too. We have enough love for both of you. But if you keep trying to hurt Chloe, we won't be able to trust you. Jenna looked at me. And for the first time, I saw something real in her eyes. Not the fake innocence. Not the calculated victim act. Just pure, desperate fear. She was terrified of losing everything. And in that moment, I actually felt bad for her. I walked over to her and held out my hand. Get up, I said. She looked at my hand, confused. I'm not going to let you push me out. I said. But I'm not going to let you destroy yourself either. We're sisters. Whether you like it or not. Jenna took my hand. And I pulled her up. She looked at me. Really looked at me. For the first time. And she saw it. She saw that I wasn't her enemy. I wasn't the thief who'd stolen her life. I was just another girl who'd been thrown into this mess, trying to figure it out. I'm sorry, she whispered. I know, I said. But you have to do better. My real parents were watching. My brothers were watching. And my adoptive parents were watching. They all saw it. They saw me being the bigger person. They saw me extending an olive branch. And they saw Jenna take it. The next few months were hard. Jenna had to unlearn years of survival instincts. Had to learn how to trust. How to share. How to be part of a family without fighting for scraps. But she did it. Slowly, painfully. She did it. And I watched. Sometimes helping. Sometimes stepping back to let her figure it out on her own. 6 months later, we were sitting in my room. Jenna and I. Just talking like normal sisters. She was telling me about school. About her friends. About this boy she liked. And I realized something. I wasn't just tolerating her anymore. I actually liked her. She was funny when she wanted to be. She was smart. And underneath all those defense mechanisms, she was actually kind of great. Hey, I said. What? She asked. I'm glad you're here. Jenna looked at me. Her eyes wide. Really? Yeah, I said. Really? She smiled. A real smile this time. Not one of her calculated ones. I'm glad I'm here too. We sat there for a while. Just enjoying the moment. Then my phone buzzed. It was my oldest brother. Family dinner tonight. Don't be late. I looked at Jenna. Wanna go? She grinned. Only if I get to ride in the Maserati. I laughed. Deal. And as we walked out of the room together, I knew something had changed. This wasn't just my story anymore. It was ours. And that was okay. Because sometimes, the best stories aren't the ones where you win alone. They're the ones where you find someone to win with. Jenna wasn't my enemy. She was my sister. And that was enough.